Good evening, I'm CrackedRack. You may be familiar with the show Ask CrackedRack at this point. It's the worldwide phenomenon where I take any question about anything, and I answer it live on this show, for your amusement. If you would like to send me a question, leave a comment below in the comments section, or email me at askcrackedrack@gmail.com. That's askcrackedrack@gmail.com. Today's question comes to me through email, sent by a lady named Charisse. Charisse looks like a MILF, according to her profile picture, so I'm very excited to answer this one. Charisse asks, CrackedRack, my 14-year-old son is increasingly reclusive and uses 4chan most of the day. Alright, this isn't fucking real. This is not fucking real. There's no way this is real. And the off chance this is real, I will answer it as such and continue reading it. It could be real, you know. My son is 14 and has become increasingly reclusive and uses 4chan most of the day. They also browse Reddit and a handful of other incredibly disturbing websites. After checking on the websites, as I am his mother, I found a plethora of disturbing things, including pornography and racism. What advice would you have, and do you have any knowledge of these websites? Well, Charisse, you came to the right place, honestly. Yes, I do have knowledge of these places. Reddit, I've talked about Reddit a lot. I mean, you're gonna have to fucking scroll through my channel's history. I mean, you can just see rant after rant after rant after rant after rant about Reddit. I mean, I really hate Reddit. But 4chan, that's a bit of an interesting one. A bit of an interesting pickle you find yourself in. 14 is way too young to be using 4chan. That's absurdity. No 14-year-old should be using 4chan. I know when I use 4chan, sorry, I am doing it to, find the best porn. I mean, let's be real, that's what we're doing on there. There's a lot of degenerate porn on 4chan that I could see being very concerning to a mother. For example, there's child porn on 4chan. There's a lot of child porn. I can't even use the website anymore. I boycott the website because every time I open it, there's a new batch of child porn that, these creeps are cheering on, and they think it's awesome, and it's not awesome. So I could definitely understand your worries and concerns, because that is very unacceptable. I don't even know how the website stays up to this day, if I'm being honest. But, when I go there, and, I'm trying to get my rocks off, which, let's be honest, your son's 14, they're gonna get their rocks off, okay? They're going to get their rocks off as much as possible. They're probably jerking off every single time you leave the room. So just accept that as reality. Don't try to censor your kid from porn, because they're going to find it regardless. But 4chan, I would keep your kid away from, okay? Because when I go to 4chan, I'm trying to get some, fat booty bitches, let's be real, some attractive women who are unrealistic. I want those, big, bubbly tits. I want that luscious round ass. I want that barely legal frame. You know what I mean. I want the whole enchilada. Everything a man could possibly want. And that's what I go to 4chan for. So your son, developing as young as he is, he's only 14, probably shouldn't be browsing a website that encourages such, blatant misogyny. Misogyny is really not cool, but 4chan will make it seem like it's cool. It'll make it seem like it's the coolest thing since sliced bread. You can't really go there without hearing about, bitch, make me a sandwich this, bitch, make me a sandwich that. All sorts of just heinous shit. It's not a place for a 14-year-old. In fact, I'm pretty sure it says explicitly on the website, this is for 18 plus only. So, maybe ground your kid when you catch him on the website. Maybe put a keylogger on his computer. Maybe track his every movement. You could even record him when he's not looking. Just make sure he doesn't go on this website, because this is not a place for kids. I think they could have a place for kids, similar to 4chan, like a 4chan for kids. That'd be interesting. But as it stands, do not allow your kid to browse that website. I would sit him down and I would have a mature discussion with him. I would say, Johnny, or, you didn't tell me what your kid's name is, but I'm just going to assume, this is inappropriate. You should be talking to girls your own age who are realistic and fit realistic body standards. There's plenty of girls at your high school. Go approach them, bang them if you think you have the confidence, but just stay off this website. But do, if you have extra suspicions that maybe he's, a little weird, a little wonky in the brain, maybe go and look at his browsing history. Make sure he's not browsing, some of the more notorious websites like r/poll, which is just, that is just pure racism, pure, hatred. I believe when the George Floyd things happened, they were cheering it on, okay? The bad site, especially for a young, developing mind. Do not let them on that website, okay? Point is, make sure they're not looking at child porn, because it's a very real possibility. Just because your child is a child does not mean they're not jerking off to child porn. So many people get that wrong as a misconception, but it's not true. Many children are pedophiles. They don't know it yet. Maybe they're not legally held responsible for it, but they can still be pedophiles. So just double check to make sure your kid is not a pedophile. Keep them off 4chan. Maybe encourage them to talk to girls their own age in their school. But let's assume for a minute he's not using 4chan for, sexual pleasure. It's kind of awkward. I don't like talking about it, but let's assume he's not using it for that. He's using it for legitimate purposes. Maybe he wants to have a discussion about Roe v. Wade, or women's rights, or gas prices. All of that is fine, but I would encourage him to find a better forum, because with 4chan, you can't really just talk about gas prices. The topic of racial tension is always going to come up, no matter what you do there. A lot of the users there are also very sexually frustrated. They like it. They like things a little rough, and they refuse to compromise. So just be careful. Make sure your kid's not posting any personal information about themselves on this website, because, oh man, if you get the attention of like Kiwi Farms or like any of those websites, your kid is fucked. Your kid is up shit's creek. I mean, they will never have a social life ever again. They'll never be able to have kids. They'll never be able to go to work and look at their coworkers in the face. They'll never be able to kiss their wives. So just chill, okay? Make sure they're not on these horrible websites, because it's a slippery slope. It's a huge slippery slope. You could make a comparison to Adolf Hitler. Hear me out for a second. Adolf Hitler, back when he, rose to power, he started off, being like, ha ha ha, look at these funny jokes. These are jokes, but they were very racist. And then he escalated so hard, now 6 million, Jewish people are dead. So you can clearly see the severity of, radicalization. So my suggestion would be to just keep him safe overall. You don't want a kid using a website like that, with creeps like that. Most of the users there are like 500 pounds. They have goatees, and they jerk off all day to anime and porn, and they're just horrible people. Some of them can be good people. Don't be offended. Charisse, if you asked this question, if you use 4chan, I am not judging you personally, but I just would not recommend it for a child. So overall, please keep your child off of 4chan. It is not a good place for them. If they are 18 plus and they want to engage in that behavior in your home, I would say okay. But, it's an excellent hangout spot for college kids to, shoot the shit. But it's not appropriate for a kid. So I'd maybe ground him, maybe take his computer away, maybe, give him a lecture about, the realism of what women's bodies are actually like. Give him the old 1-2 about, don't jerk off to child porn, or I will call the police or report you to the FBI, because you can go to jail for a long time. Like, I know some guys who are basically pedophiles, and they went to prison forever. I mean, they practically got death row, electrocuted. So just chill out. And yeah, that's my advice. Best of luck to you. I hope this gets resolved soon. That's all for today. If you guys enjoyed this episode of Ask Cracked Rack and you want to ask a question for the next episode, fucking train, shut the fuck up. Okay, sorry about that. If you would like to ask a new... fuck! Okay, you probably can't hear it, but I can hear it. But, if you would like to ask a question for the next episode of Ask Cracked Rack, shoot me a comment down below or email me at askcrackedrack@gmail.com. That's askcrackedrack@gmail.com. See ya.